You hear me? Is this thing on? Good morning to you. How are you? It is Wednesday morning. It is October the 26th. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, and hopefully not only get your day started off with all the weather information you could possibly digest, but, maybe a smile. Maybe. That's my goal. How are you? Hope you're having a great start to the day. Top two things that we are watching today is Trick or Treat. Which one? Yeah, we'll talk about the Halloween forecast coming up right around the corner. Plus the tropics getting active. What? And not only getting active, but normally gets active. What's going on? We are not to the peak of hurricane season. Or are we? Interesting. We'll chat about all of that coming up ahead on Coffee Talk this morning. But first, let's look outside live and let's just take a minute. We'll take a breather. Breathe in. Breathe out. That is a beautiful shot. That is from our tower cam in Cocoa. Just got that thing fixed. And I don't know if they put a whole new camera in there or what. For those of you just listening, by the way, imagine like a painting, because that's basically what we're looking at. It is beautiful. A reminder, you can get us on podcast. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and the iHeart app. Yeah, so we're like Visa, baby. We're everywhere you want to be. And that sun this morning is shining so bright. It is everywhere we are as well. It's 61 degrees in Titusville, 62 degrees in Daytona Beach. We're at 64 degrees in the Villages, 69 in Leesburg. So it looks great. It feels great. That humidity has come up just a little bit. You can kind of see our radar picking up on some junk out there. That's just a little bit of moisture. Get a little temperature inversion this time of day. Sometimes the radar just kind of goes a little bonkers. But we don't have... Hold on a second. Why are you doing that? Let me do this. I'm going to just restart the program. It's showing something completely different than it showed earlier. So we can just chat for a couple of minutes while this is reloading. This morning is looking great. I mean, absolutely great. What's going on, though, today, we have a weak frontal boundary sneaking in, and it is going to help to sneak in a shower or two. So don't think it's going to be a perfectly dry day. We are going to run into a shower or two here or there. It's not going to be like this overwhelming, ruin all your plans, that sort of thing. But there will be some showers. So just don't be surprised if you run into that. All right, that's reloaded. Let's see. Let's see together if that's going to load correctly. There we go. I'm like, I know we had the rain chances. All right, so a couple of showers here or there. A 20-30% coverage of rain. That's kind of where we're headed today. High temperature, look at that. 87 degrees. Not too bad. Definitely a little warmer than we've seen. 87 in Orlando. 85 today in Leesburg. 85 degrees in Ocala. And about mid-80s back over to the beaches. 1 point of reference. Today, our average high has dropped down to 82. So now, our temperature is climbing. Average high is dropping. So we're even more above average today. Let's take a look at Futurecast together and time out the rains. This morning, we're looking good. A mix of clouds and sunshine. It is beautiful. Into the afternoon, watch for a few of those little green dots. Now, the model's not going bonkers or anything, but there will be a few showers around. So just keep that in mind looking through the day today. Yeah. Questions, comments, concerns about our local weather? It looks lovely out, doesn't it? Let me just get this loaded up so we can be ready to continue our conversation beyond. Okay, all right, perfect. Yeah, so a couple of showers today. If you're heading out to the theme parks, just keep that in mind, right? Again, not plan ruining weather, but there will be some showers. If you're heading out to SeaWorld, for example, you'll notice the clouds building through the day. Now, this does play in if you're heading over to... It's okay, computer, we'll wait. If you're heading out to Halloween Horror Nights, because there will be a few showers, especially at the beginning of the event, but through the night, things look better and better. That event going like all night. So just playing, 3 o'clock parade out at the Magic Kingdom may have a shower or two, that sort of thing. Yeah, not too bad though. Kelly's asking, did you move your desk in your office again? The background is different. Oh, it's so... Most... Full transparency here. Most of the time, I have it pointed at my bookcase for Coffee Talk, but this is the position I kind of leave it when I'm not on Coffee Talk. And the reason, full transparency as to why, is I've got like boxes. I need to do some cleaning. And until it's recycle day, I've got boxes, and I just don't want to make it look bad. So yeah, but quite the eye there, Kelly. But yeah, I've got boxes on that side of the office. So here we are. It also reminds me, because my desk is off to the side, like I've got 4 of these pictures. You're only seeing 3. So I bought another one to put here so that at least for the Coffee Talk shot, it's a little more balanced. Always something, right? Steph's asking, how's the weather looking for the air show? Been seeing the Thunderbirds lately? Yeah, so they're practicing, which is very cool. Let's look at the 7-day forecast together. We need to do an air show forecast. But what you'll notice here is a couple of showers today, tomorrow. Then this weekend, things are looking good. Mid-80s for highs. Yeah, we're going to be a little above average. But there's only a few showers. So again, could see some rain here or there, but it is not going to interrupt our plans. And I think that that's the most important part. It's not going to interrupt plans. It's going to look quite lovely, actually. So yeah, I'd say for the air show, it's looking great. They've been practicing. They're going to continue to practice. Linda says, great day 4 at our Oktoberfest this evening. Where, Linda, is your Oktoberfest? Sounds like a lot of fun. Jeannie's asking, what happened to fall? Jeannie, listen, or is it Jean? Jean or Jeannie? What happened to fall? Florida, the problem is Florida likes to kind of do this and do that. Let's do this. I'm just going to, real quick, I'm going to pull up model data. Yeah. So this is kind of, let's do this. This is the GFS. These are just very rough, but it's the GFS bar graph for temperatures. Okay, and that takes you through, let me do this. If I shrink it, will it get smaller? It will. Okay, perfect. So let's do that. So this is the bar graph for temperatures. I'm going to shrink it so that you can see it. So yeah, so that's what the GFS is putting out. Morning lows, not moving a ton. Again, raw model data. This is one model run, but the idea is at least it gives you an idea. One thing to point out, earlier this week, the model had indicated, oh yeah, I can make it a little bigger. Okay. Earlier this week, we were looking at like 5th, 6th, 7th for a decent cold front, and it's now kind of it's kicked that can down the path to more like a 10th and 11th deal. So at least for now, the GFS is not going bonkers on any opportunity for things. But that's one model run of the GFS. If we look at the European temperatures, the European doesn't really go out as far, but you get the kind of overall idea here. So 7-day forecast, and this is a forecast. That was a model, but 7-day forecast kind of keeping us mild. Remember, we hit cold like 3 weeks early. So now it's kind of like my career. I feel like my career, I hit my first job really well, and then I had to wait a little while for my career to catch back up. So I think that that's what's happening in the weather world here, right? Is we hit that cold so early, and now our expectations are like, come on, baby, what else you got? And now we have to kind of wait a little while for it to catch back up. So anyway, that's where we're at. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, well. Sharon, good to see your happy face to start my day. I'm glad to see you here joining us this morning. Good morning to you, Sharon. Emily, how are you? Good morning. Is Dad in the room? I see Dad and my older brother, Frank. I see 2 Frank Burrises in the room. What is happening? What is happening? Jeannie's asking weather photos. Yeah, so I showed yesterday. I've got, here, I'll lift this up and I'll give you a tour. So I've got some space, some weather photos, but, I've got a pretty good, oh, now I messed it all up. Is that better? Hold on. There we are. Okay. Yeah, so I've got a balance of space. I've got space and weather photos, but I need to add, I've got 4, literally, hold on. What's this doing on my desk? I've got 4 more frames, and I've got 4 more pictures. I just need to put them in the frames and then put them on the wall. And then, at least when I see you in this, it'll have 1 more frame and it'll look a little more balanced, which is never a bad thing. So, yeah. Gene, you've turned your health around. Good job. Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much, Gene. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Terry says, Eric the Decorator also. Believe me, I have to get help. I have to get help from my consultant. Debbie's asking, what did the image consultant tell me? All right, well, while we talk about that, I'll just leave the 7-day forecast up, and then we have to talk Halloween particularly, and we have to talk about the tropics. So image consultant. So let me pull up my file here. All right, so I've got my file. So the way that it works, let me explain to you how this works. An image consultant. When you meet with an image consultant, in this case, her name's Audrey, she has what's called style. I don't have what's called style. For example, when I started at WESH, I didn't wear my glasses, and I needed them, and I wore them off the air. But, like, for example, I can see, Linda says, our church in Rockledge. I'm cooking for almost 160 people. That's very cool, Linda. So I can barely see this stuff. But I was told you don't wear glasses on TV. And as a matter of fact, I believe I'm the only one at WESH still. At least I was at the time. But everybody at WESH that wears glasses is required to wear contacts. With one exception. Hi, how are you? Yeah, at least at that moment, I was the exception. And she said to me, and I quote, I want to make a character out of you, darling. You want to make a character out of me? Okay. So anyway, I was the only one that was allowed to wear glasses. Cool. So she changed my hairstyle. This is years ago. It's 8 years ago, 9 years ago, when we first started seeing Audrey. She changed my hairstyle. She changed my I went from thin glasses. I had like half frames to like thicker, and I've got 2 frames now that I go back and forth on. She picked those. The suit colors, the ties, the right down to the collar on my dress shirt. And so anyway, so it's been this ever evolving thing. So since I've lost like 100 and something pounds, we've been evolving things. And so the last time I saw her, like 6 months ago, it was the glasses frames. You've got to get smaller glasses, darling. They are eating your face. So anyway, this time I have a thing. I'm not going to demonstrate it, but I have a thing where I keep my pants to what I think is my waist. Turns out, when you've got a big belly, your waist is below the belly. That's what I always did. So you've got to pull up your pants, darling. And I went into the newsroom yesterday, and it was very funny because I was asking the gentleman where they keep their pants, and like Manolfi's like, bada bing, bada cannoli, tortellini, bada bing. Like, you know, he's like, what are you asking me about my pants for? It was very funny. So anyway, so I have to pull my pants up. So you're going to see me if you watch WESH 2 News at noon today. It'll be the first show that I've got my trousers up to like my chest, because I keep them too low, apparently. So that'll be fun. If I look awkward, I mean, I'm an awkward person anyway, but if I look awkward, that'll be number 1. Number 2, I like to do the double Windsor tie knot, but it's too big now for my head, she says. Half Windsor only, darling. So there's that. I need to also, in addition to wearing my suits, I need to explore, and I quote, a sport coat and slacks proper to the waist at the belly button, darling. Her words. And I've got a bunch of kind of, we just went to different websites. I've got some suggestions here. Suits to buy. She wants the sport coat with texture. I need to get metal magnetized collar stays so that when I'm like this, it will keep the collar in, or it will keep the collar in. And then when I, do it like this, I can let them down. There's all these things. Oh, and another thing, not that you care about any of this. And for those of you that don't care, I apologize. We'll get back to weather in a minute. I've never been a pocket square guy, and I truly HATE pocket squares. I've just thought that they were goofy. She wants me to start to wear pocket squares when I wear a sport coat and trousers. And it's not like a full-on pattern pocket square. Like her suggestion was, you see how those pocket squares have like a little trim on them? I'm like, I've never worn a dang pocket square. And so then she went and like gave me examples of what, not necessarily like that outfit, but like that pocket square. Like she gave me some ideas on pocket squares. And then eventually maybe I can transition to not wearing a tie on the air. And if that's the case, then it's a pocket square and then contrasting buttons, because you need to add, quote, it's all about points of interest. Now, I have zero style, so this is just fun. Ay. Can I share my fashion stylist? I don't know what she charges, but I imagine that I cannot afford her. I'm glad that the station pays for her. And I need it because I have no style. So, like I go in there and some people are like, you're not going to tell me how to dress. Meanwhile, I'm over here like on my phone taking pics. She's like, try this, darling, try this. And she's going through these like Macy's, Suit Supply, all these websites. And I'm over here like a nerd taking pictures. And literally, when it comes to ordering suits, my thing is like, I need you to pick, if it's a pattern, I need you to pick the pattern. Like, I need you to be specific. So we literally, like when it came time to doing the glasses, when it came time to these glasses, I FaceTimed her in the store, and the guy working at the glasses store is like showing, and she's like, nope, too small, too big, that's perfect, try that on. And I apologize, Jeannie's asking, is she British? Well, my accent may be a disaster, but yes, she's got the accent. Kelly says, pull up your pants. I know. Oh, and speaking of pants, I'm also, as I'm wearing my suit pants right now, you are not to wear your suit pants into work. You change into your suit pants into work. She doesn't want them crinkly, which of course I'm already doing wrong. So I will work on that. Michael says, don't insult Uncle Tony or you will wake up strapped to the Falcon Heavy. Well, you get one heck of a ride, right? Mickey says, reminds me of Edna from The Incredibles. Yes, minus the like flame resistant stuff. But I love the propa. Yeah, Ann says, love the propa. Debbie says, wow, I need to visit her. I need someone to tell me what to wear. Oh, listen, this is one of those things. In television, there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad. Let me tell you something. This is one of the good. I feel like I wish that I could be like, listen, if I slip you a 50, could you help me dress myself outside of work? Because you're doing a great job at work, but like, the problem is she's got expensive taste, and I always have to take what she says and like, okay, so you're talking about fancy suits. I'm not that guy. So like, all right, so where can I find this on Amazon? But she's kind of figured me out now. So yesterday she was even showing me suits on Amazon that I could get, and yeah. Linda says, my husband would be appalled about the tie. Always a double. Me too. That, I would say, out of everything she's ever taught me, the pants thing is just uncomfortable. But the tie thing, I'm like, oh, man, I love, like a double Windsor to me. I asked if there was any room for wiggle there, and she's like, your head is just too small, darling. That's the one thing that I'm sad about. I love a double Windsor tie. I do not like smaller knots. Stinks. Debbie says pocket square is classy. I guess so. You know what it is I feel like I've seen enough people wearing pocket squares and look like they've got a friggin' tulip in their pocket. Like, it's just like, it looks so ridiculous. So her thing is like a very small, very subtle thing. So, you know, I guess I'll work on that. Yesenia says, love learning about this. Where can I consult one? I wouldn't even know where. I wouldn't even know what to say. I wouldn't even know. Shauna says, pants at the belly button. Listen, so the other thing is, like, and I'm not going to go too in depth, but like, use your imagination. Like, first off, all of my pants are not designed for that, at least in terms of dimensions. So there's that. Then there's the other element of like when I wear my suit today at work, they're going to be high waters. Like, you're going to see all of my sock and probably some of the, you know, the leg hair hanging out because my pants are going to be so pulled up. Oy vey. Anyway, there's that. Jan says, I pay attention to the weather and the weather graphics, not the attire. Thank you, Jan. Thank you. Thank you. Suspenders? Yeah, she doesn't let that happen. Stuart used to wear suspenders. Yeah. Get some hip glasses like Roker. Fun fact, Jan, she's the same image consultant that Al Roker uses. These are a good example of fun, quote unquote, fun glasses. She used to hate clear, but she actually made me get clear because Dave Price at WNBC did it. And then she ended up doing it for, he was the former chief meteorologist at KNBC. She does a lot of NBC owned and operated stations. And what's even funnier is she had just come back from Chicago talking to my dear friend Stephen Holt, Lester's son, over at WMAQ. So I needed to text him and say that I was talking smack about him with Audrey. Kelly says, I've always thought you guys look spiffy. It's Audrey. Jeannie says, you do not seem like the pocket square. I think the same thing, but I'm going to give it a shot. WNBC, Michael. That's right. You got to get the WNBC. Okay, anyway. Debbie says, oh no, I love Al Roker's glasses, but not always his clothes. Not flattering. You know, it may be one of those things that he just does his own thing and ignores her. I don't know. She puts together, interestingly enough, very specific plans for people. Like, there's people she wants to make, like, I'm the only one allowed to wear glasses at WESH, like, barring an emergency, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, consistently. I'm the only one that's allowed to consistently wear glasses. So anyway. All right, enough about that. Let's move on. I mean, pocket squares are nice and all. I know. I'm going to have to figure. And like, here's the thing. Like, when you tell somebody who has zero style, me, get a pocket square, but it needs to match, but not match. Huh? What? It needs to match, but not match. How do I process this? Yeah, so anyway. Shauna, are you walking with Al next week? I am. I am walking with Al Roker next week. I'm not excited about it or anything. Yeah, so next Monday, I get to hang out and do some Falcon heavy. And then on Tuesday, I get to walk with Al. We'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. Let's get to some weather stuff, though, okay? They pay me to do the weather. Let me do the weather. Out to the tropics we go. There are technically 3 areas, but really 2 areas we're monitoring. The first one down here in the Caribbean has a 30% likelihood of developing over the next 5 days' time. This one here was in the Bahamas. It's an old front that brought us a chill. It's now out over like Puerto Rico, the Turks Caicos. 30% chance of developing over the next 5 days' time. Invest 94. Did not do it. Not gonna do it at this juncture. So let's come down here and look into the Caribbean. Not much now, but models are going to try and blossom something up there. And then the models do try to kind of get something going here around Puerto Rico. So that said, let's look and see where the models go. Not this screen. This screen. All right, this is the 6C GFS run. It's the most recent run that we have. And And you can kind of see it does try to develop something here if you're in the listening mode around Friday of this week. Something near Bermuda trying to form. Kind of hangs out there. And then eventually weakens and lifts to the north. At the same time, looking ahead to Monday, Tuesday, something down in the Caribbean perhaps trying to develop. 976, 950, 960 low. So it's a pretty decent storm into Central America. And then another thing trying to get going. Now, I would just point out that the GFS keeps doing this outside of hour 300, but it never moves in. So, take it with a grain of salt. It's trying to latch onto something, but it's not really doing great. Let's look at the European. Compare, contrast, right? All right, so European, something east of us around this weekend. Something into the Caribbean, moving into Central America. So those two things are pretty much in line. So there's probably going to be something going on there. But then at the end of the time frame there, something hanging out east of us. The BSR showed it. Something here around the Antilles. Yeah. So starting to get some kind of consistency between models. Yeah. Interesting stuff. I love doing different ties when my daughter had to wear uniforms to school. I always did different styles, and I had to learn different sweaters. Went great to accent the tie style. Yeah, that is fun. My late stepdad always wore a cardigan. I love that look. Oh, and Pocket Squares can show some accent fun with designs if she lets you. Glasses are super classy, I think. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to have to learn about this whole Pocket Square thing. Good times. I'll figure it out. Does Mexico get hit with hurricanes more often than Florida and Louisiana? I don't have like those stats in front of me, but I would say, Chrissy, that Mexico is at least as likely to get storms. All right, let's look at some ensembles together. We'll switch to the GFS. All right, let's just take an eyeball and look. We've got some ensemble members doing their thing out east of us. Makes sense. That's this weekend. Nothing threatening us, but some ensemble members there. Then some ensemble members down in the Caribbean trying to do something, working towards Central America around November 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And then ensemble members are trying to do something kind of toward the end of the week. Yeah, so there's not a ton of signals. There's some signals, but not a ton. As far as hurricane season goes, let's look at the stats. We have had 11 named storms. The average through today is 13.1 named storms, so we're a little behind. Last year through today, we had 20. When we look at the ACE, the accumulated cyclonic energy, 84.1 ACE points is what we've generated so far this year. The 30-year average through today is 113, and last year we had 139, so we are running below average in terms of hurricane season this year. Yeah. Good times. So that's where we're at. Nothing too ominous, just things to watch. Right? And Ann likes the Pocket Square. Pocket Protector's more my thing. Chrissy says we've had touristy weather since Hurricane Ian. Hey, this isn't terrible. There's worse things out there, Kelly says if you give me a hurricane for my birthday, our friendship may be over. I don't give these things, right? As long as you know that. Laura, I'm so late today. Did I miss the advice today? Did we get into advice? I shared the image consultant advice that I got. So, yeah. Oh, well. James, next strong cold front. The models are kind of kicking it down the road a little bit. So, around the 7th-ish, 8th-ish, Ian says it doesn't suck. Now, that's true. That's true. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Annoyed by my image consultant data? You have the in with Mother Nature, I know. Laura, you could always go back and check it out. Wendy says we'll be in Disney for Wine and Dine first weekend of November. Is it looking warm or cool or rain? Honestly, it's kind of looking mild right now. Yeah, it's kind of looking a little mild. I need to go fishing, Shauna says. I'll try to make it good for you. I'll try. I'll do my best. Belinda, good morning. How are ya? Taylor says, just pull his pants up and give him an atomic wedgie. Listen, I'm going to be doing the noon today with an atomic wedgie. Tiffany, dressing up on air for Halloween. They don't let us do that. Al Roker. Yes. Okay. All right. So Al Roker. So yeah. So I'm really excited about this because Al and I had the same surgery. We both do weather. We both did weather as morbidly obese people. And certainly Al's a legend. So I'm going to be on air on Sunrise Tuesday, I believe in the 6 o'clock hour. I'm going to have a couple of hits with Al. And then we're going to be doing our walk stuff. Coffee Talk on Tuesday. I have to figure out how we're going to do this because the official walk that he's here for is at 8 a.m. So obviously if I'm walking with him at 8, I can't do it. So I'll figure it out. I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out. But at least for now, I can tell you this much. You've got to watch 6 a.m. on Tuesday, like Monday, Falcon Heavy. Okay. Like who doesn't want to nerd out on a Falcon, 3 Falcon rockets tied together. There's that. Chrissy says walk and talk. But I think I'm doing TV hits at 8 o'clock. So I'll figure it out, Chrissy, and as soon as I know something, I will let y'all know. So Falcon Heavy coverage on Monday, and then Tuesday, 6 a.m., talking with Al. We're going to be doing a couple of hits. We're going to be talking about the walk. We're going to be talking about surgery, staying healthy. I'm so looking forward to it. I read Al's book. And I know some of y'all are interested in the bariatric surgery that I had done. Al had the same one done. He wrote a book about it. It's called Never Going Back, Ain't Going Back, something like that. Read it. Or better yet, do what I did, audiobook it, because then he reads it, and it's so good. It's very good. It's very revealing. And I think that really helped me in my kind of quest to do better. Yeah. Jeannie, we stay quiet. Thanks, Eric. Pull up those pants. Undecided on the pocket square. Yeah, I'll figure it out with my suit coat. But I'm already messing up because I'm wearing my suit pants. I guess I'm going to take my pants off and put on jeans to wear to work, which is so, like I have to change clothes. I'll get there. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Nikki says, we'll forgive you for missing a day, or you could just push it back and then have Al as a guest. I have to ask our executive producer. I have to figure that out. I'll ask our executive producer today about it. Because it would be great. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be my dream. Have Al come on to Coffee Talk. But he's busy. He's busy. So I don't know. Betty says, just looked at 100 photos of Al Roker. She evidently knows what she's talking about. The image consultant, she's no joke. If you Google, her name is Audrey Mansfield. If you Google her and go to her website, you can see who she's worked with. And it's like, these are not fake people. These are the people. Hint, tell him the most impactful part of his book to you. Yeah, that's true. But read if you have any interest in that path, read the book. Anyway, all right, enough. Nice mild weather for us the next couple of days. I've got some so fun things coming up, and I can't wait to nerd out with you. Falcon Heavy, Al Roker, so much cool coming up. All right, and I'm going to do my best. Either way, even if Coffee Talk isn't on time, we'll figure it out. Either way, I'm taking you along, and we're going to hang out together doing all these fun things, all right? All right, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you for the afternoon Coffee Talk, 3:30 today, all right? Be the sunshine. Bye, you guys.